We have more for Your Ears Only. I'm David Alpern.
I'm Eddie Robinson with this quote from the news. How could you be so tone deaf? That was Melanie Sloan of Citizens for Ethics and Responsibility in Washington on news that the General Services Administration spent $822,000 in taxpayer money for a luxurious Las Vegas area spa and casino conference in 2010 that last week prompted GSA Chief Martha Johnson to fire 2 deputies before resigning herself. Now this.
God made trees and the birds and the bees and seas for the fishes to swim in. We are also aware that he had quite a flair for creating exceptional women. Now, we all might enjoy seeing Helen of Troy as a gay cabaret entertainer. But I doubt that she could be 1/4 as good as our legendary, lovely Marlena.
Whenever spring breaks through again, time and I have it between. But what has been is past forgetting.
Though my world may go awry, in my heart will ever lie just the echo of a sigh.
Noel Coward had a way with words, a way with music, a way with style and stardom. With celebrity pals from Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich, whom he introduced at London's Café de Paris, to Winston Churchill, Lord Mountbatten, and Lawrence of Arabia. On Coward's 70th birthday, Mountbatten said, quote, "There are probably greater painters than Noel, greater novelists than Noel, greater librettists, greater composers of music, greater singers, greater dancers, greater comedians, greater tragedians, greater stage producers, greater film directors, greater cabaret artists, greater TV stars. If there are, they are 14 different people. Only one man combined all 14 different labels, the master."
And cabaret star Steve Ross has a way with Noel Coward, as we heard at the end of our introductory clips. This week, in fact, Ross performs some of the master's rare and unrecorded songs as part of a months-long Coward Festival in New York, centered around an appropriately multifaceted exhibit of his full and frothy life from 1899 to 1973 at Lincoln Center's New York Public Library of the Performing Arts. And to talk about it all for Your Ears Only, we're pleased to have Steve Ross on the line again. Welcome back to our show.
I'm happy to be here.
Coward was not...
That's a wonderful... I like your description of his life. It indeed was that. Frothy and full. Yes. Very well done.
Coward was not born to the high society he would eventually write about, entertain, and embody. Tell us where he came from and how he entered show business.
Well, he was born not, as you say, in this high life. He was born into a middle-class family. His father was a piano tuner, a piano salesman, rather. But I think he always knew that he had something very special. And as happened in those days, his mother took him to the theater. And when often you read interviews of people who've been to the theater, it was a life-changing experience for him. He realized that he was not an ordinary type of little person. And this was a chance for him to sing and to dance and to get applause and to love. And he immediately embraced that lifestyle. I think he says but he also had a different way of looking at things. I mean, what other 8-year-old is going to describe going to a play called The Dairymaid, and his comment was, well, there certainly was a lot of churning going on. I mean, that's the kind of, he was at a remove from all of that, and I think the fantasy world of the theater was very attractive to him in his personality, and of course added to that he just had this great natural aptitude not only for performing, but ultimately for writing things for himself.
He was soon a star and later a British national treasure for an inspiringly patriotic World War II movie called In Which We Serve, and an anthem of the German Blitz titled London Pride. But the exhibition also talks about his work for British intelligence, a very public sort of secret agent. But you must have known that.
Yeah, and I was aware of that. And it's in all the biographies. He wanted to do it. He was an intensely patriotic man, and he wanted very much to do his bit. I guess they thought that he would pick up tidbits, as one does at a party if he just hobnobbed with his, by then, large group of social friends. But he was a bit bored with that. I think nothing really happened from it. They had an office in Paris, but I don't think he ever was able to bring much back that was of interest to anybody. But for such they realized that not only was he a man of the dressing gowns and the cigarette holder, but he was a serious man, as many people are in that form, and he wanted to help out. I don't think much happened with it, but it was an interesting little sidebar to his life in those days.
You sing Cole Porter, Rodgers and Hart, Kern, Hammerstein, Berlin, and Sondheim. What would you say defines or differentiates a Noel Coward song in terms of words and music?
It's interesting. Sometimes he has two kinds of songs, really, which you'll hear echoes of which when I do the unknown stuff on Monday. Is there sentimental songs, because he did come and started composing when operetta still was very much in the musical scene, and these beautiful waltzes like I'll See You Again and Someday I'll Find You, the classic waltzes. So he had that going for him, but I guess the defining thing is his wit and his acerbic wit. I often describe him as the man who raised waspishness to an art form. I mean, he always was railing against something like stage mothers and don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. He would be, why must the show go on? So he had this thing where he was rolling his eyeballs and imploring fate, why is it happening to me? I mean, anybody can do that, but the fact is that he did it with wit and style, and as with good satirists, he got away with murder. He got away with saying that the things that a lot of us feel, but just don't have the cleverness to put down on paper.
Cabaret star Steve Ross performs Coward off the record Monday, April 9th at the Library for the Performing Arts Bruno Walter Auditorium on Amsterdam Avenue, just south of 65th Street, sounding something like this.
I will love you till I die. Goodbye.
Next, Titanic Rising, with new meaning 100 years since her tragic loss, for your ears only.